Hey there, Julia here. And since we're at the end of January, kind of this 2025 trial month, if you will, I was thinking that I have a lot of inks. That is a thing. And since I'm not buying any bottles of ink for most of this year, I thought it would be fun to just document some of the inks I want to use this year. It's so easy to overlook inks you've never used in favor of, I guess, favorites. And there's also like a recency bias, especially with me. Whenever I get something new, I want to use it right away. And I overlook some of the other things that I've been wanting to use. So this year I definitely want to explore some sleepers. Another thing I'm exploring in the new year is varying up my jewelry collection. I just want a little refresh, nothing too wild. I've mentioned Ana Luisa jewelry here on the channel a few times. Really, most of the jewelry you see me wear ever is from Ana Luisa, minus my wedding ring here, of course. Anyways, I've noticed I've been a little bare lately and I want to spice it up a bit. Some of my favorites right now is this gold pebble necklace for more of a statement piece without doing the most. I also really love this really dainty necklace that easily layers with other pieces. This is probably my first Ana Luisa anything. It's such an OG piece and I still wear it even years later. I'm gonna admit I am terrible with wearing jewelry in the shower and this necklace has been a beast. But I wanted to grab a couple of new items, probably some rings, and yeah, let's browse the site. So they have a New Year's sale, which is good news. I'm going to shop bestsellers and filter by rings. This claw ring is super cute. And I also love that Ana Luisa is long lasting, tarnish resistant, because like I said, I will wear it in the shower. I am too lazy to take off the jewelry. But the styles just feel really timeless to me. So yeah, if they arrive before this video goes live, I'll show you what they end up looking like. But as you guys know, I love Ana Luisa. Definitely check out the link in the description to learn more. And thanks to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this portion of the video. Back to the inks though, the first ink that I want to use at some point this year is Birmingham Pen Company's Tiger Eye. And I got this in an ink swap and I just thought it was the coolest color. It actually reminds me of another Birmingham Pen Company ink that I was gifted, and the person that gifted it said that the ink was called Rotten Seaweed, but he wasn't 100% sure, and it kind of reminds me of this ink. So now I'm wondering if it was really Tiger's Eye. Maybe not. This is definitely more orange than that other ink. And I'm just going to be using my Sailor Hakoro dip pen for a quick little writing sample down here. Okay, I take it back. This actually looks nothing like that other ink once you write with it. This one does look really cool. The shading is really awesome in the writing here. And we might get a little bit of sheen happening. We'll see once that dries down. The next ink I want to swatch to use for next year, or this year rather, is Wearingeul Path. And I got this as a Christmas gift. And I've been wanting this ink for the longest time. I've been trying to track it down. It does have some shimmer in it. But it seemed like every time I was ready to buy this ink, even at pen shows, I would go and look for it. It wouldn't be available, it would be sold out, etc. So I was very excited to unwrap Path on Christmas. So yeah, a very gorgeous olive, muddy kind of green color with a golden shimmer. The next ink that I want to give a try in 2025 is from the Diamine 2024 Inkvent calendar. It was one of my favorites of the bunch. I just thought it was super interesting, the Chameleon Shimmer, and it is Diamine Wishing Tree. So this is kind of a grayish green, and the shimmer kind of shifts from green to red. These are looking very autumnal to me altogether, and I really like that, even though we are a long ways from fall. The next ink I've had for just a little bit, but I just haven't had the opportunity to ink it up in a pen just yet. It is Ferris Wheel Press's The Sad Charade. And this is a standard ink. I have inked it up in my Ferris Wheel Press Dabbler pen, my little fine liner pen that you can put fountain pen ink in, but the color, it looks lighter in that fine liner, so I think I would much prefer it more true to ink color in a fountain pen, but it's just a very gorgeous teal. I am very curious to know if I would actually like this in a pen, since it seems, at least in this stub nib, to have a lot of shading and pretty high contrast shading, which I'm usually not a fan of, but very curious. Wow, look at what Diamine Wishing Tree is doing. That is so pretty. The next ink was also a Christmas gift, and it is Dominant Industry Soleil Couchant et Étretat. Working on my French, y'all. And this was released with their Painter series, if I remember correctly. Actually, I did remember correctly, because here is a little piece of the painting on the label here. But I feel like this color is in line with these two, just like this moody bluish color. And I think this has a little bit of like pink undertones, but I just think it's really beautiful. It reminds me of like a stormy sky on the ocean. Hopefully we'll get some of that complexity as it dries down. I'm just gonna call it Soleil ... I cannot get over how cool Wishing Tree looks on camera. Wow. Okay, the next one is an ink from Birmingham Pen Company. This is Nocturnal Lavender, and I haven't inked this up either, and I've had it for a few months, but it is a very moody, as the name implies, nocturnal lavender. So it is a very moody, dark lavender. It's dark and moody, kind of my vibe. You can already start to see some of that pink undertone here in the Dominant Industry ink. Very pretty. That is so gorgeous. Yes. I think after I'm done here, I'm gonna do like little check boxes and then I will like check them off as I use them throughout the year. I think that would be pretty fun. Okay, the next one I'm pretty excited about. I was late to the game knowing about its existence, but I needed to use up some Ferris Wheel Press loyalty points. And I grabbed this Bookkeeper's Brass ink over the holiday season at some point, and it is Shimmer. It's a beautiful golden brown with golden brown shimmer in it as well. And this was a collab with a bookstore in Japan. I'll pop it up on the screen because I cannot remember it right now what the name of the bookstore is. But as soon as I got this ink, I was like, this needs to go in something very soon because it is gorgeous. My deal today is that I'm putting way too much ink on the page. So I'm just gonna remove some so we can get some of those lighter tones. Voila! And way too much ink on the dip pen. We're just gonna make this part of the swatch now. This seems very light in writing. And I wonder how I would feel about this inked in a pen. It's very pretty here in the swatch, but I don't know. We shall see. Okay, the next one that I want to try this year is Wearing Gold Call of the Cthulhu, and I got this as a Christmas gift. I do have the matching pen that goes with this ink. It pairs with the Sailor 1911 L Cthulhu model from Goldspot, and both the pen and the ink are Goldspot exclusives, and I really enjoyed having the pen inked up, and I'm sure that the ink is amazing as well. It is a sheener, and I do love a good sheen queen, and I love teal inks, and this is a teal ink. So even though this may not go straight away into the Sailor pen, I'm gonna have to ink this up in something at some point. Again, way too much ink. Oh yeah, that is like I like it. Dark, moody, a dark sheen. Yeah, it's a nice wet ink as well. Saturated, love it. Our next one is a third Birmingham Pen Company ink, and it was a sample sent by a pen friend, and this is Birmingham Pen Company Water Bear, which is one of their newer inks, if I remember correctly. It's a very strange color. It was very hard to categorize in my pen and ink directory, but I just think it's so interesting looking, and I just wonder what it's gonna perform like in a pen. Very curious to see when it's in a pen if I'll get a super light line or if it's gonna be really legible because there are really dark hues in this ink as well. So interesting indeed. See, it's looking really legible here with the dip pen. Yeah, I'm sure you can see what I mean. It's a little bit gray, but also pink and purple, brown. It's a very interesting, complex looking color. Okay, we are mostly dry. Everything is looking so cool. Look at this little cheeky, subtle sheen there with Tiger's Eye. And then I still can't get over Wishing Tree. Look at it turn, the shimmer, turn from red to green. Ah! I love it. These two are a little similar, especially in the writing. I wasn't aware when I picked these that they were going to be so similar, and they kind of match my nails, so maybe I'm in a mood. But the biggest difference here is like the pinkish undertones here, where this one has just like a lighter blue undertone. And then yeah, see, Water Bear is just a weird one, but it's super cool looking, I think. So yeah, here are some inks that you hopefully will see in upcoming currently inked videos. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more pen and ink fun. I'm excited to pick out some pen matches for these, and probably starting in March, I'll try to get these in rotation since I kind of already know what I want to do for February. But let me know what inks you're wanting to use this year that you've maybe been neglecting. Let me know in the comments. Thanks again to Ana Luisa, and be sure to check out the descriptions for links to jewelry and ink. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will leave with you my favorite pen and ink combinations, my top 5 of 2024. I'll leave that for you right here. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home.